And welcome back to Pump with Purpose. This is Dr. Diana here. I am here to record another podcast episode. We want to let you know that we are a global lactation and postpartum private practice teaching women all across the world to breast pump. So in this podcast episode, we are going to be talking about 5 tips to avoid pumping fatigue. So I'm going to be very clear, very clear. Pumping fatigue is real. It is real. If you do not learn how to manage your life around pumping, no matter how you feed, right? But no matter what, especially because I'm not going to deny the parts, the pump, all of the things, it can become a lot to feel like you are just literally pumping around the clock. You know, I am not going to pretend that there are more bottles to wash. There are more parts to clean. But than all the other forms of feeding, right? It can get to be a lot. But if you try to develop a plan to understand like what are your pain points. And that's the first tip. Identify and mitigate your pain points. And literally it can be instrumental. So some of the things we like to do are our pumping and feeding life hacks, which we talk to our clients about, which we have on our social media platforms. That is pumping and feeding at the same time, pumping and feeding from the same bottle, pumping and feeding one bottle ahead. So let's break down each one. Pumping and feeding at the same time. So what that looks like is when you are pumping, you want to bottle feed at the same time. Figure out what your schedule is. Get your baby on your schedule can be a good way. That's the thing with pumping and bottle feeding. Like you can get your baby on a schedule. You're not going to be shunned because you decide to get your life in some type of routine because it just works well for you and your family, at least not on this platform. So we are a fan of, so when we were pumping, we were on the 4-7-1-10 schedule. And the reason why is because I had to get up for work. I had to get up at 4. I pumped and, made that my pumping hour was from 4 to 5. Not that, sometimes I didn't even need to pump an hour. I'm not saying you need to do that. I just made that my time that I was going to dedicate to making sure, even if I set the alarm and it didn't get up in time or whatever, I gave myself an hour to get myself together, put away the milk, whatever it took. 5 to 6, I would get the kids ready. We had to be out of the house by 6, no later than 6:15, get them to daycare back when I was working in corporate America. And then I had to catch the train, 2 trains into DC to get to work each and every day. So it was very important for me to have a schedule. It was very important to me, even when I was on maternity leave, to do my work schedule, to get my children on my schedule. So they were on the 4-7-1. They ate at those times. I pumped and fed at the same time and no regrets in doing so. It's literally a game changer. Then pumping and feeding from the same bottle. There are so many bottles on the market. There are so many pumps on the market. And sometimes, if you're lucky, depending on what your pump of choice is and what your bottle of choice is, there may be a connector that allows you to connect your bottle that your baby is using to your breast pump. And if that's the case, you completely cut your wash time down in half, because you're not going to have a set of bottles for pumping and then another set of bottles to feed your baby. You're also not going to have that extra milk that kind of gets left in the bottle because you have to pour it and then, give it to baby in a different bottle. And then pumping and feeding one bottle ahead. So my secret sauce there is my bottle for, the pump. When I pumped at 4, that was my bottle for 7. Then I fed at 7 and then pumped at the same time. And then that was my bottle for 10. So I went around the clock using the 240-minute rule, which is trademarked by Pump with Purpose, which is pumping every 3 hours for 30 minutes with the right pump, flange, products, and schedule. So when I went around the clock every 3 hours, I always had a bottle already ready. It's set on the counter because my children eat before the 4-hour CDC time frame. And so, back when my children were younger, the time frame wasn't 4 hours. It was even longer. In some places you read it's even longer still even today. But we just use the CDC on this platform. So my children ate before then. And so then I would have that bottle on the counter, did not have to put it in the fridge and then it'll get cold and then cool it back down. My children drank room temperature, and at the next time we pumped and fed, that's what we would do. So those are my pumping and feeding life hacks. I love them. I support them. I stand on them. I tell my clients about them. So it's what we use, it's what we do, it's what we love. And so we wanted to share that with you here. Doing something fun while pumping. And what is fun for you? Is it reading a book? We do want you to pay attention, especially while you're learning to pump. Pay attention to your milk when it comes out, how it comes out, all of the things. But once you get, a good rhythm going, doing something fun. Is it scrolling the internet, scrolling social media? Is it reading a book? Is it relaxing? Is it just taking a moment to take a moment, right? Doing something that you enjoy. Are there crossword puzzles that you enjoy? Journaling that you enjoy? Listening to music? Whatever your jam is, find it and try to spend that time doing it, whatever that is. Is it devotionals? Is it it's just a laundry list of things is it snacking? Is it watching your favorite television show? I mean, I can literally think that the list goes on and on and on and on, because you're finally having a moment to sit down and dedicate to yourself, because when you become a new mom, barely do we get moments. So take those moments when you can. So it can be very important. Now, if you're feeding baby at the same time, then that's something to do too. And then when you're done, you have 2.5 hours between sessions to enjoy yourself. Lean on your support system. Who is your support system? Do you have, a significant other in the picture? Do you have family close by? Do you have friends close by? Do you have a nanny? Do you have a night nurse, a postpartum nurse, a doula? Whatever your jam is that can help you, a food train that'll bring food back and forth. Do you have a house cleaning service? Anything that you need to help you to get through is what I recommend to do. It's really important to just make sure that you have a support system. You have someone that you can lean on and talk to and work with when there are concerns. Is it a lactation professional that can help you if you're having issues with pumping? That's what we're here for. That's what we are to our clients. We are a member of their care team, and we pride ourselves in that. Then reflect. Number 4 is reflect on why you're pumping. I'll go through all 5 of them again because I was talking and just rolling because it just blurts out, because pumping fatigue is a topic that I love talking about. I have it in the bottom of my care plan and talk about your mood and what is contributing to your feelings towards pumping. But reflect on why you're pumping. Why are we doing this? To provide our baby with breast milk. Fuller bottles make you feel better. Providing more milk than your baby needs. Feed the baby and the freezer. Team oversupply. Team freezer stash. I got 99 problems with pumping milk. Ain't one. Whatever it is that keeps you going day in and day out. Knowing that your baby's being fed from your body and only you have the tailored source to provide your baby the nutrients that it needs straight from your body. Something nothing else will do. We rush to get through the infant feeding stage, and guess what? Then what? We're left with food, regular food, but it's not from our body. It's not perfectly tailored for what our baby needs. Antibody, immunity, benefits, nutritional benefits. I could keep going on. People wonder why I did it for 3 years. Who else was going to be able to provide these 2 boys in this house the food that they need in order to be successful? No one. So I really prided myself in being able to feed them from my body for so long, to be able to pump their breast milk for so long. Second journey was over 3 years, feeding my infant and my toddler breast milk, and I don't regret it one bit. It was the best. I mean, both of my journeys were amazing, but knowing that I was feeding 2 children from my body that I did not birth together, it's just amazing. And watching them grow and, fight and combat illnesses. Not saying they didn't get sick at all, but they did not get sick very long. And if they were sick, sometimes you couldn't even tell they were sick. I'm like, man, is this 100-degree fever? Like, nothing else is wrong with you. So, and because the only thing that really knows is get them sent home from daycare, get 101-degree fever, right? Or 100.4, sorry. I get the 2 confused. I don't remember now, but either 100.4 or 101, but one of those will get you sent home from daycare. And literally, it's my kids are able to adapt to different environments. They're in, daycare. One is in daycare, one is in regular school now. And literally, I'm the only person that keeps getting sick because I'm home every day. And, I don't get the same exposure like going in to an office or somewhere every single day. And I don't go to Starbucks and just hang around anywhere. I'm here seeing lactation clients and doula clients and postpartum clients throughout the day. But, really understanding why you're doing it is so important. And then finally, to evaluate your pump schedule and setup. Like I said, what works best for you? Just because I love the 240-minute rule, which is pumping every 3 hours for 30 minutes for the first 12 weeks with the right pump, flange, products, and schedule, don't mean that you can do the 240-minute rule. Looking at and evaluating what you can actually do. Like when our clients pull up, they're like, I don't have to do this. I'm like, you can make the informed decision to do what is best for you. You may not make oversupply, you may not make full supply, but if your mental capacity is impacted by your pumping, then you need to choose, a way to balance both of them. We call it your pumping sweet spot, where the amount of pumps per day you can do that doesn't impact your mental capacity. So we want you to find your pumping sweet spot. And even if that's early on, it's better to pump something than nothing at all, is what we feel. So we do love to help you find your pump schedule and your setup, and what does that look like. Can you make sure that you are pumping effectively and efficiently, learning how to enter your body, learning pumping techniques, learning how to hand massage based on your body, knowing how to be gentle with your body and get the milk out the same rate, if not faster, without feeling like you're about to rip your nips off. So just evaluating what you're doing day in and day out really can help take control of your journey, and actually just having a plan. Just having a plan is a plan, and I love it. So I just want to reiterate again the 5 tips for to avoid pumping fatigue. Number 1, identify and mitigate your pain points. Number 2, do something fun while pumping. Number 3, lean on your support system. And number 4, reflect on why you're pumping. And finally, number 5, evaluate your pump schedule and setup. If you need assistance, if you need care, we are here. We are here. We love helping women combat and manage pumping fatigue. So many people are just like, just stop pumping, or just give formula, or, just nurse. Like, nursing is so simple for everyone to do. If your baby's not effectively and efficiently removing milk, you're still not going to increase your milk supply and get where you're going. So just passively, just people just telling you what you need to do is not helpful. And you can become resentful if everyone's trying to tell you, oh, it's not working, just quit, just stop, it'll be better. Like, I have so many people that after, rushing or someone making them stop before they're ready, then they get resentful, and they harbor bitterness because they were told or forced or made to feel like they need to stop pumping at a certain time. So I am here if, Pump with Purpose is here if you need assistance, if you need to work with a lactation professional that specializes in pumping. All I do is pumping all day long, every day, day in and day out. You can come to our Instagram platform where we have over 60,000+ followers. We are on 15 different social media platforms. We have the Pump with Purpose app that's on all Google and Apple devices. We are where the pumping community is. If that's Peanut, if that's YouTube, if that's TikTok, if that's Facebook, the list just goes on and on. We want to be where the pumping community is. If you are putting a pump to your nips, we want to be a part of your journey. But we do realize that managing and combating pumping fatigue is real, and people don't realize how fast it can hit and how quickly it can overwhelm you if you don't have a plan. But once you get a plan and really figure out what you need to be doing day in and day out, it really does get easier. And I see my clients afterwards. We put together their premier pumping plan with the pump, flange, products, and schedule. And then when they pull up to a real-time pumping session where I teach them how to pump based in their body, I'm like, how is it going? They're like, it's great, my schedule. Because once you can plan and have a life and understand what you need to be doing, set boundaries when you can and can't go somewhere. Or if you can go somewhere, you may have to pump on the way there, pump on the way back. Friends and family, they'll have to understand you're going to be pumping. Just the same if you were nursing. Like, people have to make accommodations, and it's no different when it comes to pumping. It just really is more scheduled and structured, which works well for me. That's why Pump Life chose me, and I'm glad it did. So I'm happy to help assist in any way. Pump with Purpose, our platform, is always here. We have an amazing team that can be here with you and for you. So this is Dr. Diana here. Until next time with Pump with Purpose.